3 years ago on the streets of Eley. Today, the rioters who incited disorder in the Cardiff suburb that night were handed sentences, the first 10 facing a total of nearly 50 years in jail. Fighting back against unfair parking charges, the nurse who took her battle to court when she repeatedly struggled to find a space to work her shift.
The food bank with no food. Why volunteers here are appealing for donations as stocks reach a crisis level.
Backstage on a very pink set. Can you guess which musical has come to the capital? We sit down with the stars. Hello, good evening to you. It was a night that shook a community to its core. In May 2023, after 2 teenagers were killed in an e-bike crash, violence erupted in the Cardiff suburb of Eley, which saw cars torched and petrol bombs and fireworks hurled at police officers who struggled to control the angry mob. Today, the first group of people were sentenced for their role in that riot and face a combined total of 48 years behind bars. Our correspondent Richard Morgan has been following the trial and is at Cardiff Crown Court for us this evening. Good evening, Richard. Talk us through what happened in court today, then.
Well, Andrea, there were rowdy scenes during the sentencing today. At one point, the judge ordered the courtroom to be cleared after someone shouted abuse from the public gallery. Now, it comes on the first day of a 3-day sentencing hearing into those responsible for that riot in Eley 3 years ago, a riot which the judge said was a truly terrifying and life-threatening situation.
Ah, look at him coming up with the door. Yeah, that's it, the lads.
As dusk fell in Eley, discontent turned to disorder and then to destruction. A crowd 100 strong, turning their anger on police and their own community. Hours earlier, 2 teenagers, Harvey Evans and Kyrie Sullivan, died after the e-bike they were riding crashed. Police were blamed for what happened. What followed became, in the words of the prosecution, a scene of extraordinary violence. The police were vastly outnumbered, but formed a line to keep the crowd at bay. For hours, they were pelted by missiles. Bricks, bottles, concrete blocks, even doors were thrown. One officer recalled a microwave bouncing off his protective riot shield. Later, a petrol bomb exploded over police lines, engulfing one officer in flames. Fortunately, she escaped serious injury. The onslaught continued late into the evening. Here, rioters approach carrying what appears to be a patio door before hurling it at police. Fireworks were also used. In all, 31 officers were hurt, with injuries including a broken foot, hearing loss and concussion. Statements from some were read in court.
This experience is the only incident in which it's crossed my mind that I might not be going home to my loved ones,
said one officer, while others spoke of the apparent glee among the mob.
The crowd seemed happy and jovial to be attacking police and destroying their own community. When an officer was clearly struck, laughter and cheering could be heard.
Be careful, I'm alive.
As the mayhem unfolded, 4 cars were burned out and many more damaged. With residents left to survey the carnage, police launched a major hunt to find those responsible.
This was one of the largest prosecutions that CPS Cymru Wales has seen. It was a case of piecing together all of the evidence that we had, whether that be footage from mobile phones, whether that be footage from drones, bringing that together to identify those who were responsible.
9 of those responsible were today sentenced to a total of 48 years in custody. Another was handed a community order. 20 more defendants are due to be sentenced over the next 2 days. In Eley, the physical scars of the riot have long since healed. The memories of what happened that night will take much longer to fade.
And Richard, the riot followed the deaths of the two teenagers, as we mentioned earlier. So what is the latest on the investigation into what happened that evening?
Well, Andrea, the police watchdog, the IOPC, has previously said there's no indication of contact between officers and the e-bike the boys were on, and no criminal charges have been brought. But it also said that one officer does have a case to answer for gross misconduct over the accuracy of accounts he'd made following the collision. Now, it's for South Wales Police to instigate disciplinary proceedings. We've contacted them this evening for comment. Meanwhile, the IOP said a separate investigation into family complaints made against the police following the collision is continuing. Andrea.
Richard at Cardiff at Crown Court. Thank you. Elsewhere tonight, a Denbighshire man on trial for rape has admitted having sex with a 15-year-old girl but said it was consensual and believed she was older. 25-year-old Elely Badshah is one of 4 men facing charges of child sexual exploitation and trafficking, which they deny. Joanne Gallagher sent this report from Carnarvon Crown Court.
Elely Badshah took to the stand for the first time here at Carnarvon Crown Court today. Wearing a grey suit and a white shirt, he told jurors that he came to the UK 10 years ago when he was 15 and a family member was killed and his home destroyed in Pakistan. He arrived in Rhyl because his brother had already set up home. He said he suffers with depression, with anxiety and PTSD, for which he takes medication. He told jurors that he met Child B and Child C for the first time in spring 2022 when he was invited, along with Mohammed Arshad, to the home of Mustafa Iqbal on Tre Llewellyn Road in Rhyl. He said that the girls told the men that they were aged 17. They now know that they were 15, but at the time, Badshah said they had no idea. He admitted to kissing Child B and Child C, and they played Spin the Bottle. He said later, a few weeks down the line, he did have sex with Child B. He believed it to be consensual. Again, he believed that she wasn't underage. He said he found out her true age when she travelled to London with one of his co-defendants, Jaswinder Singh. He said that when he realised how young she was, he felt disgusted. He would never go out with someone underage. He would never have sex with anyone underage. The 4 men who are on trial here at Carnarvon Court in relation to child exploitation and trafficking deny all the charges against them, and the trial here at Carnarvon Crown Court continues.
Joanne Gallagher there with the latest on that trial. Now, if you've ever driven around and around a hospital car park looking for a space, this story may just strike a chord with you. Whilst working as a nurse at Glangruili Hospital, Charlene Evans says impossible parking often left her in tears, and over 18 months she received hundreds of pounds in parking charges. But Charlene took her fight against parking firm Group Nexus to court and was awarded her money back. The company insists this was due to a paperwork issue, and it was acknowledged in court that parking terms and conditions had been broken by Ms Evans. Our Consumer Affairs correspondent Kate Lewis takes up the story.
When Charlene used to drive to Glangruili Hospital to start her shift as a nurse, she says she'd always have one thing on her mind. Would she be able to park? Often the answer was no, something she says would leave her stressed before she even started.
Crying. I can't find a space, phoning the departments that I was scheduled to work in, I can't find anything, ready to go home. And then I'm thinking, I can't go home, this is my only income, I need to feed my children.
Over 18 months, Charlene received 7 parking tickets.
How did you feel when those tickets were on your car when you came out of a shift?
Deflated. You've given your all to look after somebody, to keep people alive, to get them home safely. Support family members if they've lost loved ones. And you get out and you got this car park ticket on your window for doing all that. And it's just like, really? Really?
£50 a ticket. So Charlene was faced with tickets totalling £350. She tells me she felt the tickets were issued unfairly and contacted the parking company to tell them, but they did not accept this. The debt eventually rose to around £1,200 and Charlene was issued with a county court judgment, something that can seriously affect your credit rating. This is when Charlene decided to take action against parking company group Nexus. In court, she says she was faced with a difficult decision.
The company stated that if I paid the original car parking charges, they would remove the CCJ. So I felt like I was in between a rock and a hard place. So I paid the initial, well, a little bit more actually. So the initial charges should have only been £350, but I paid them £420, sorry. And then the CCJ was successfully removed.
But reflecting on it, Charlene says she felt she'd made the wrong decision. So representing herself, she once again went to court, this time the judge ordering the company to refund Charlene her money.
I was absolutely adamant that this was done unfairly, and not just to myself, to so many more other people.
It means a lot for you that this went your way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In response, a spokesperson on behalf of Group Nexus says the company accepts the court's decision and will pay the ordered refund, but want to be clear the refund of these fees was ordered because the judge felt the company's initial paperwork didn't contain enough information. However, they go on to say the judge did acknowledge the parking terms and conditions had been broken and as a result chose not to award Miss Evans any court costs or loss of earnings. They say they are committed to keeping parking at Glangwili Hospital fair and manageable. On average, around 1,000 patients visit this West Wales hospital every day. The Health Board acknowledges that Glangwili is a very busy hospital and encourage anyone who comes here, including staff, to use allocated parking spaces, warning that inappropriate parking can be dangerous and cause obstruction to emergency vehicles. Charlene maintains while she did park in places she knew she shouldn't, she was left with no choice and says hospital parking must be made easier for healthcare staff who are just trying to simply do their job.
Well, I think this is a story that may provoke quite a lot of reaction, Kate. We all know parking can be a real pain, can't it?
Absolutely. I think, you know, we all know that sinking feeling of driving around a hospital car park and you know you've got to get to an appointment or see a loved one. But look, many people tonight are probably asking, and maybe rightly so, why on earth are car parking companies in places like hospital? Well, those in the industry tell me it's in order to keep the car parks safe, to keep things moving. And also, under some contracts, they can generate income which will help to keep the operational costs and maintain parking facilities such as lights. But look, it is really important that consumers, and this is what the experts say, do know their rights when it comes to these parking charges.
If you genuinely think that you don't deserve that charge, then you should be appealing it. And I think it's incredibly important that people know how to appeal, how to go through the complaints process, and how to actually make sure that they're being fairly charged. Anything unfair needs to be challenged. If you do think it's a fair charge, though, unfortunately, I think the best option there is just to pay it.
What Lisa means there about fairness is, have these parking companies really displayed clear signage? Have they told you where and when you can park and for how long? If they have, then really you're probably on dodgy ground, but if not, then you have some grounds to appeal.
So really important to read those signs as you park if there's time, hopefully. Kate, thank you. There is plenty more still to come for you this evening. Ruth is here. Dare I ask, is there any sign at all of summer?
I think if you have to ask, well, we've had warm rain out there today, haven't we? That's summer for you. But hang on in there. It's looking brighter for the weekend. And from a summer sunshine to the starry, starry stage. Film turned smash hit musical Legally Blonde comes to the capital. We meet the Welsh star taking on the show's iconic lead role.
Oh, that's definitely woken us up. Look forward to that. But first, tonight's ITV Cymru Wales has been given exclusive access to film at a shared living initiative. Carers provide accommodation and support from their own home for adults who have support needs. As well as helping people develop life skills, it's also more cost effective for the council, sometimes costing 50% less than other accommodation-based services. Megan Boot has been to Barry in the Vale of Glamorgan.
Rosie's been coming to Bernie's home for nearly 2 years.
So Rosie loves her sensory pillow and blanket. So when we went shopping, Rosie, you bought that, didn't you, yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she chose to leave it here, so which is lovely.
Rosie is one of around a dozen people that Bernie offers respite care to.
I like being in this room. Downstairs in the bedroom. And sometimes I watch the telly there in the nights.
We provide respite care so that other carers and their families, or their families, can actually take a break, have a break, go on holiday, and the individuals that we look after, they can have a break too, and they can have a holiday. So I've also put all of your toiletries in a bag for you.
The Shared Lives scheme involves 85 carers across the Vale of Glamorgan and Bridgend, helping 47 individuals living in households and 25 in respite care, with individuals referred through social services teams.
So anyone could become a carer. There's no qualifications. It's anybody who shares the same values. Maybe they've got the right compassion and commitment to become a carer, and they've got their own home and they've got a spare room in their house as well.
And what did you do in terms of safeguarding to make sure that that is going to be a relationship that works for everybody?
Yeah, it's a registered service, and as part of that we do obviously the DBS checks, there's training for everyone, and we got a team of dedicated project workers who monitor and support all of those households and just make sure that everything's in compliance, and also we're meeting the needs of the individual and supporting the carers in their development as well.
Because this isn't just somewhere to stay, it's an opportunity to create communities, build relationships and allow individuals to grow. Megan Boot, ITV News in Barry.
Volunteers at a food bank in Cardiff say they've never seen their warehouse so empty and running out of crucial items for the first time ever. They say demand for the service is high and are calling on the public for donations so they can continue to help people who are in desperate need. Well, Issa Farfor is at the food bank for us tonight. Issa, good evening. A sad situation there.
Yes, absolutely, Andrea. This is the situation right now. This area is supposed to be full of containers, full of food. But as you can see, it's almost empty, which means people who rely on food banks can't pick up the food they need. I'm pleased to be joined by Rachel Biggs from Cardiff Food Bank. You said it, Rachel, you've never seen this warehouse so empty. Why is that?
Yeah, so what we're seeing at the moment is a drop in our donations. We're at a time when the need for our service remains extremely high. We feed around 20,000 people a year. We've seen from January to May this year, we're supporting the same number of people as we were last year, but there's been a 27% drop in the food donations coming to the food bank.
Do you worry about not being able to help those who are in need?
At the moment, no, we're not concerned about that. We know we've been so well supported by the community, and we knew if we posted that donations are low at the moment, we knew the community would respond, as they do week in, week out, to support us. When we posted, we had 105 donations come in overnight, and the community have stepped up and are supporting us. We're here to support people for as long as we're needed.
How important are your food banks to those who use them?
Well, the reason people need a food bank is because of low income, and the picture across Wales, we're seeing that food banks are posting about empty shelves. We supported 154,000 people across Wales as a community of food banks at Trussell, and people need us now more than ever.
What can people do to help? What would you like people to know, or the best way to donate to you?
Yeah, the food banks are powered by the community. We need your support now more than ever. Please continue to support with food or finance and support your local food bank.
Thank you very much for being with us. Well, the message here is clear, and the hope now for more donations to come in so more food can get to those who need it, Andrea.
He's a quite stark image there to see those empty shelves. Let's hope that changes soon. You're watching Wales at 6. Let's get a reminder of tonight's top story now. And 10 people have been sentenced to a total of 48 years for their part in a riot following the deaths of 2 teenage boys. The trouble took place in the Elely part of Cardiff in May 2023. 31 police officers were hurt in the disorder, which the judge described as a truly terrifying and life-threatening situation. 20 more rioters will be sentenced over the next 2 days. Still to come for you on the ITV Evening News.
Coming up, it begins. Excitement builds to fever pitch for England's World Cup opener. The fans and the players ready themselves for tonight's game against Croatia. The government today confirms a full apology is coming for survivors of the forced adoption scandal. And Jeremy Clarkson reveals he has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
It's all coming up in about 10 minutes' time. Well, let's get to your forecast. Ruth is here. Any sign of things brightening up? You did mention maybe there'd be a sign.
Maybe,
yes,
yeah, absolutely. Yes, very much so. Plenty of signs, plenty of sunshine and rising temperatures to sum it all up. Just a few showers to get through first, though. But from singing in the rain to singing on the stage, the iconic film turned smash hit musical Legally Blonde has arrived in Cardiff with a local Love Island and Strictly star Amber Davis taking on the lead role of Elle Woods. Caddy Gwyn-Edwards caught up with her at the Wales Millennium Centre to find out more.
From the hills of Denbighshire to some of the biggest stages in the UK and beyond, Amber Davis has made her mark in the musical theatre world. Now she's back in Wales, taking on one of theatre's most iconic leading ladies, Elle Woods in Legally Blonde. The hit musical follows Elle's journey from fashion-loving sorority girl to Harvard law student.
What's it like stepping into her presumably very fashionable shoes?
Big heels every night.
I love it. I love it. I've been singing the Legally Blonde Elle Woods material since college when I trained at drama school. She's so fun and I feel like we have similarities.
She's famously underestimated. Do you sort of see yourself in that at all?
I feel like that's why I can relate to her so much, is because people judge you before they know you.
Amber first rose to prominence after winning ITV's Love Island in 2017.
I think that there is a stamp on reality that if you have done a reality show, then in no means can you be talented in any way. So I feel like really proud of myself that I have been able to carve a career for myself.
You might be wondering, how much pink is too much pink? Well, in the world of Legally Blonde, there's never such thing as too much pink. The music is blaring, the costumes are ready, and Legally Blonde is about to hit Cardiff.
And returning to Wales carries extra significance, as this week also marks a personal milestone.
I'm actually doing my 100th Elle show this week.
No
in my
way!
homeland. Yeah,
that's
it's like worked out so perfectly. But I have a different sense of relaxation when I come here because I know every single person in the audience. Every audience is rooting for you. You know, and it's like blood, Welsh blood. I just feel like it doesn't matter what I do. I know that there's just this abundance of pride from me and from the audience, and I just love that so much. There's an intimacy, you know.
So, for Amber Davis and Elle Woods alike, both dreamed big, both were underestimated, and both have a habit of proving people wrong with style.
Well, like it's hard.
Caddy Gwyn-Edwards, ITV News in Cardiff.
Slightly disappointed that Caddy didn't break out into song herself then, but let's face it, it's all about the dog, isn't it?
It's all about the dog. But I also feel like we should have embraced the pink tonight. We failed, haven't we?
We
really?
did. But we do have bright trainers on,
we do.
Which
Well,
goes hand in hand.
I might do, you can't see.
Can't see it, no. I can assure you Andrea hasn't got bright trainers on. I'll just run with that one. Yeah, summer sunshine, where is it? We're about time we saw summer, and I may have a little bit of good news for you. Today, if you cast your minds back, has been quite miserable. There's been a lot of cloud out there. That cloud likely to linger careful how I say that, linger around coasts over the next few days. So as a general rule, the further east that you go, this is where you'll see the best of the blue sky and sunshine and those rising temperatures I've been talking about too. But unfortunately, hot by day by the time we get into the coming weekend, but also very, very warm and pretty uncomfortable by night. So summer is on the way, some weather to get through first.
Ancient sites will clear, bringing local dishes in the afternoon. TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
Well, northern areas are faring slightly better than the south out there at the moment with a little bit of evening sunshine. But as we head into the overnight stretch, the cloud will come and go. Again, down across coastal areas could be quite a bit of low cloud, misty, murky conditions too. But a largely dry end to the night, a very mild and muggy end to the night, though, lows of around 14 or 15, which is not particularly pleasant for sleeping. As you wake then to tomorrow morning, again, lots of low cloud, mist and murk, and that will start to lift during the morning. But I'm sure you'll have spotted, rather ominously, there is a frontal system that will work its way through the Irish Sea, possibly throwing some cloud in our direction and maybe a few showers from time to time over the hills and mountains across the north and over Anglesey too. But generally nothing too troublesome. It's not going to be a washout by any means, and you can see the temperatures already starting to creep up. So if you catch that sunshine, particularly further inland, we're looking at 22 or 23, maybe feeling actually a little bit more comfortable, a little more pleasant around coastal areas with a little bit of a welcome breeze here. Moderate levels of UV wherever you are, so don't get caught out. Plans for Thursday night, it's not looking too bad at all. Now, there is a frontal system that will bring a few showers, again remaining largely confined to the north and the west into the early hours of Friday morning. And you can see how that looks there a little closer. It will remain parked out through the Irish Sea, but I think, again, across the northwest, we may see just a few showers clipping their way in. But generally, a fine end to the week, varying amounts of cloud. Sunshine, I think, is going to be at something of a premium, but we've still got moderate to high levels of UV. And again, those temperatures, 23, maybe a 24 in Celsius. And the trend in those rising temperatures continues as we head into the weekend and the start of next week too. But we keep, I'm afraid, those mild and muggy nights too.
TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather. Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
Well, if you are suffering with hay fever at the moment, it's grass pollen bringing the misery. We're into the peak of the season, but generally moderate to high levels over the next couple of days. So there you are. Hang on in there. Summer will be back, I promise. But as I say, got some rain to get through first. But we're
Patience. Patience is a virtue. We will hold on, Ruth. Thank you very much. We believe in you. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday evening. Caddy Edwards will be back first thing tomorrow with your headlines from us. Bye-bye.